The Green City Startup is an initiative of the City of Joburg which encourages green entrepreneurs to develop ideas in building, energy, water, transport and waste. With more than 2 million rand in prize money, these innovators will help make the city a greener place. Our show keeps you informed about the competition, their progress and the green economy in general. This is the Green City Startup. This week on our show, we meet train enthusiasts from the Model Train Association. We look at Zoo Lake and the challenges that it faces. We receive more mentorship from entrepreneurial experts. And we chat to an entrepreneur, Wayne Berger, in the big interview. Dumelang, hello, and welcome to Season 2 of the Green City Startup. My name is Puna Silesho. Before we go any further, connect with us on our social media pages. You can find us on Facebook at The Green City Startup and Twitter at GC Startup. If you're looking for a fun family day out, the gentlemen at the Model Train Association are keen to host you for a relaxed ride on their miniature trains, which they build and maintain themselves. We spent a day with the train enthusiast at the Len Rutter Park in Roodepoort.
Today is our main meeting of the month, where members come along, bring their models, set them up, spin around the track all day if they want to, or just for a few hours and then they go back home again.
The history of the club is quite simple. It started in 1934 in Johannesburg and for many years was at the old Milner Park, which was the showgrounds. Many people will remember the Rand Easter Show. In the mid-1980s, those showgrounds were sold by the Agricultural Society to Wits University for an extension of the campus, and the club then moved here in 1985-86.
The society has got a couple of locomotives. It's got one steam locomotive, and it's got two petrol-powered locomotives. It's quite a ropey business to start up a steam engine. It takes about 3/4 of an hour to an hour to steam it up, and then equally as long a time to shut it down afterwards. You've got to clean up and that kind of thing. So if people specifically ask for a steam locomotive, they can have one, but then there is a premium on the higher charge.
We are in an open public park. People are welcome to come here. The only charge that is levied for people to come is if they choose to ride on the trains, and the money of that goes towards paying our rent and our maintenance costs, looking after the property.
Entrance is free, and you can bring your sandwiches and sit under the tree and have them there as well, and you pay only for rides.
We are a non-profit organisation and we welcome people to come here to enjoy themselves, and if they can patronise by taking the odd ride, it helps us keep this club going.
Well, it started off with me buying a lathe. Didn't know what to do with a lathe, and then I got interested in steam engines, models, and then trains eventually. Everything is handmade, from scratch. Get the pieces of steel together, weld, braze, silver solder, depending what parts it is. If you've got the passion for it and you want to do it, there's nothing stopping you. All the materials are readily available, drawings are available. So it's just up to you to do a little bit of research and you can get going.
People are very welcome here, and if people have an inkling that they want to get involved with this stuff, they need not be frightened to come forward and say, look, I'm interested. They can have a sample of coming along and see if it's something they enjoy doing.
Some of the locomotives can take easily about 30 people. We normally take about 20 people at a time. Smaller locomotives, perhaps say about 15 or so. And the rolling, the wagons and that kind of thing belongs to the club. But the locomotives, as I say, with the exception of the 3 that we own, the rest are members. And the members contribute by boarding passengers.
It's the only place in town, but it's just really awesome for all the kids. We're definitely enjoying it. It's probably one of the better things to do with the kids around here. And it's educational.
We enjoy very good support from the community, and we participate where we can. If we are asked to get involved in community projects, things like that, we will assist in our way here. And so far life is good.
For 26 years I've been around here. So I've been riding the trains, we're doing kiddies parties, you know. If this place is gonna be closed, I wouldn't know what to do. You know.
What a unique attraction, and it's sitting in Florida, which is part of Region C in the greater city of Joburg. It goes to show that you can share your hobby with the greater community around you. On our Green City Startup Facebook page, we share quite a lot of knowledge and info that can help entrepreneurs learn and grow. Brandon, the man behind our Facebook page, is ready to share some more knowledge with us.
Hi entrepreneurs. One of the most challenging tasks as an entrepreneur is to establish a unique value proposition. Let's be honest, identifying your own differentiating factors isn't that easy. So I found these tips by curating. Let's check them out. Firstly, check your W's. Start with the basics and ask these 4 questions. What does your company sell? Who are your ideal target customers? What pain points does your product or service solve for them? Does it save time? Is it affordable? What makes your product or service unique compared to competition? Secondly, involve others. Put yourself in your audience's shoes to see how you can appeal to them more. Surveys, blogs, and social media are good for reaching out to your audience. Alternatively, peers and friends are usually happy to help. Also, remember to look at testimonials from existing customers. That should give you some accurate insight. Thirdly, pay attention to competition. Seeing your competition as enemies isn't always a right approach. By observing your competition, you can learn how to serve your clients better. Make a list of your most successful competitors and check their product or service offering. Read their content and look at what their customers are saying about them on social media and on blogs. Fourth, ask for feedback. Turn to your trusted peers and partners to give you constructive, detailed feedback. Based on that, continue working at your message until it feels right. In summary, check your W's, involve others, pay attention to competition, and ask for feedback. That's all from me. Now go and make that pitch. Be sure to follow us on Facebook at The Green City Startup and on Twitter at The GC Startup. Join the conversation. Until next time, remember, keep focused.
If you'd like to learn more about the Green City Startup or stay up to date with all our happenings, you can visit our website at thegreencitystartup.co.za. We'd also love to share some more stories with you on our social media pages, so visit us on Twitter at TheGC Startup. Zoo Lake is popular for its jazz concerts and family picnics, but unfortunately this leisure spot is facing some environmental challenges. We speak to Alton Rankin about this.
What I like about my region, what I relate to most in the region, is the greening atmosphere which is around the region. Walking around the Zoo Lake, look at how they're taking care of the plants, the grass. Those are the most, lovely features in the region that takes away my breath.
People like visiting Zoo Lake, so it is well utilized in that it has playground areas, outdoor gym facilities for patrons to utilize, dog walkers. It has heritage status. It's considered a flagship park, and it just has a sense of being. It's well established. If you look around, it's got one of the major canopies is situated within Region B. And Zoo Lake houses a number of those 40, 50 to 100-year-old trees. On an annual basis, we experience events like Jazz on the Lake, which is one of the famous events that happen in the month of September, as well as your music events that would happen from international music events from time to time. Mentioning that, we have 5 trees that were planted by Lionel Richie, one for himself, one for his wife, and his 3 grandkids, and I think his daughter. So we do have some kind of heritage in terms of the music fraternity as well. Our greatest challenge, I would say, is braaiing within our facilities. Our bylaws do indicate no fires are allowed within the facilities. However, it doesn't specify braaiing. So a lot of our patrons bring their own braai stands and they utilize their braais. But the problem that arises from that is patrons would complete their braaiing, take the ashes and hot smoldering coals and chuck it at the base of a tree. We've experienced a number of trees that have had damage to the system, the feeder system into the tree, and that has caused 50-year-old, 100-year-old trees to be damaged and have to be brought down. Some of the trees would fall over onto patrons, so there's a risk to the city in terms of that. The other issue that we experience is the litter. The challenge is not the collection. We have a program in place. However, it's the people's attitude to the utilization of the park. People would generally just leave litter where they have been sitting and walk off, and we are then left with the entire park strewn with litter. Zoo Lake, it's quite massive. We would require a number of maybe 2 co-ops through the Josie at Work program if only people would start to think about just taking the litter and dumping it in the bins provided. The solution to that is, I think we should run a national litter program throughout the country, not only Johannesburg, where previously when we were at school it was zap it in the ZB block. And that, I think, helped quite a lot, and I think the schools would play a major role in educating the children, because children then educate parents.
Still to come, the mentors continue to train and support the finalists from the Green City Startup and other City of Joburg competitions. We get a news update from Nolo on entrepreneurial matters in the City of Joburg, and later we sit with Wayne Berger from the Venture Network in the big interview. It's all happening right here on the Green City Startup, so don't go anywhere.
Do you have an idea or innovation that could improve your township? Can you identify a problem in your community that could be solved in a new and different way? This is a call for innovative entrepreneurs with ambition and commitment to accept our challenge. Josie My Beginning is an entrepreneurial competition that's coming right to your doorstep for its 2nd round of investment. We're looking for your idea, product or service in the area of retail, micro-manufacturing, agriculture, recycling, education and skills development. 60 startups from 6 Josie townships will receive training and funding to expand their community businesses. We'll be building micro-malls, hubs where developing businesses or businesses expanding into the formal economy can grow in our communities. Enter the next round of the Josie My Beginning competition and you could change your township and your life. Josie My Beginning. Building businesses in townships for townships.
Welcome back to the greenest entrepreneurial show in Mzansi. If you log on to our Green City Startup Facebook page, you'll see that we source and share information about entrepreneurial matters in and around Joburg. This information can help you on your journey as an entrepreneur. So do read, like, and share that you can stay informed. A major part of the Green City Startup competition is the mentor's input and guidance. This is because we believe that in order to be successful, it is beneficial to be trained and supported by the industry's best. Here's Liz Dom from Inquisition to tell us about the Green City Startup and other City of Joburg competition contestants and what they learned this week.
Hello, and welcome to our series on designing and growing a strong and successful business. In our previous webisode, we discussed how to design a connected and empowered team. You and your team know that your business is the best thing since sliced bread. How do you make investors believe the same? We'll teach you to prepare a pitch that'll blow even the most cynical investor away. You've got 5 minutes in an elevator with a potential investor. Are you pitch ready? In most instances, you have less than 5 minutes to pitch your business and leave a lasting impact. To do this, you need to memorize what we call a pitch deck, which consists of no less than 7 slides. What goes into a pitch deck? Your product name and one-line proposition, problems or gaps in the markets and your solution, market opportunity by showing the stats, your product's journey from concept to barcode, your business model and how you're going to make your money, your competitor landscape, as well as your advantages. Practice makes perfect, and the key to a successful pitch is as much presentation as its content. Repeat your pitch to yourself, in a mirror, or in front of an audience on a regular basis and you'll be set to win. For materials mentioned and more information, visit our website. Once you have your pitch down and your investors' support, you're ready to market your business. Thanks for watching.
If you'd like to see more of our training sessions or get access to short downloadable information from our shows, you can find it on our website at TheGreenCityStartup.co.za. We had the opportunity to chat with Wayne Berger from the Venture Network about the key ingredients needed to make an idea successful. Next, the big interview. In studio, we have an entrepreneur from the Venture Network. His name is Wayne, and he will be giving us tips and tricks on entrepreneurship. Welcome to the show, Wayne.
Thank you, Puni.
Wayne, with the Venture Network, we are always taught that entrepreneurs need to find a need and then fill it. So with the Venture Network, what need did you find and how did you fill it?
Well, what we found, especially being in Johannesburg, that there were a lot of people interested in, the startup ecosystem. The ecosystem is really just an environment that allows for people to start up businesses. But there weren't, no one really knew where to access this ecosystem. Where in Cape Town, there's something called Silicon Cape, and it's very well established and people know about it. But in Johannesburg, we found that it was very hard to find other people interested in startups with their ideas or investing in startups. So what we thought with a friend of mine, Abu Qasim, we decided to co-found Venture Network. And the reason we thought it would work was because we needed it. And a good way to look at things is if you need it, maybe somebody else will need it.
Sure. And how does one, when they have an idea, such as you having that idea, how do you cater it for South African markets specifically?
Yeah, well, look, obviously Venture Network is South Africa focused, but we've started off in Johannesburg. Generally, the best way to start any idea is to focus on a real need. So find people that actually need a problem to be solved. Maybe it's your neighbor, or maybe it's your parents even. Find a problem that you believe you can solve, and then see if you can do it for many people. And that's really a good way to start. One thing to be aware of is a lot of people have really big ideas, but when the idea becomes a reality, nobody really needs that solution, and therefore you've spent all this time working on let's say, your business, but you can't find customers.
And how do you prevent that through market research? How do you execute good market research?
Well, like I say, from our side, what we like to do is we like to find a problem already, an established problem, and then we look at ways to solve an established problem. A good way to sort of test to see if people will buy the solution or use the solution is to get them on board. So, you know what, I'll give you a free trial, you let me you give me feedback on either that service, or I'll give you a discounted rate, or, you know, but you try. One of the best ways to start a business is to try find customers, you know. Don't start the business with all the ideas, you know, before you have a customer. Rather speak to customers, get feedback, and then grow your business that way.
And do you find that South African markets and international markets interact a lot, and if so, how?
Well, look, it depends. That will depend on different industries and different problems. You know, that maybe in South Africa, crime is a significant issue, right? And you might find that a country like Mexico, you know, similar solutions might work well, you know, in South Africa and Mexico, where in Canada, it might be less relevant to them because they have very low crime rates. But the idea, what South Africans should be looking at is there's already countries that have really established startup ecosystems, and all they did, like for instance, there's a place in America called Silicon Valley, which is known #1 for being the best for startup and innovation. Then there's also Tel Aviv in Israel, which is known to be really good, once again, for startup and innovation. More recently, the United Kingdom has added legislation to their environment to make it easier to invest in startups and to stimulate innovation. And I think if we want to, let's say, match international markets, or if we want to work closer with them, I think we need to look at the legislation in South Africa. We've already started that. There are a few laws, something called a Section 12J. You know, well, you get Section 12J funds where you get money back, you know, tax money back for your investment. But I think if we want to work closer with, let's say, international territories, then we would need to look at our legislation and look at ways of collaborating with them.
Sure. And it seems like you need to know a lot about the context, the legislation, the different types of markets. Do you need to have a business degree in order to do this?
Definitely not. The best way, there's nothing more valuable than experience. And the best way to get experience is go out today, go add value to somebody's life, or go solve a problem for somebody and grow from there. The business degrees and all these extra things that you can get at university, they definitely do help. But if you build an established business, then you will be able to hire those people, and you won't need to necessarily have them yourself. They definitely are positive. You do want to keep on learning throughout your life, but you don't necessarily need a degree to do business.
Thank you so much, Wayne, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
That was Wayne from the Venture Network on The Big Interview. I'm never disappointed with what our guests on The Big Interview have to offer us. And each week, each entrepreneur brings a different flavor. So be sure to tune in every single week. It's good to stay informed in the ever-busy city of Joburg. Next, my right-hand man Nolo has some entrepreneurial news.
In headlines today, Sasol and DTI launch a business incubator, MLab launches the App Fund, and the CIF finalists attend the UJ Business School. Hello, I'm Nolo with this week's Green City Startup News. Sasol has recently launched its incubator in Chem City in Sasolburg. Present at the launch, the Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry Mzwandile Masina expressed his delight at the 54 million rand incubator and how it would build businesses, particularly in manufacturing. Sasol Executive Vice President of Energy Business, Maurice Radebe, said Sasol was proud to have partnered with the DTI to bring to life the vision of growing black industrialists as a strategic driver of the South African economy. Staying with opportunities for entrepreneurs, MLab Southern Africa has officially launched its Innovation App Fund. The initiative is an early-stage fund to stimulate more South African mobile innovation by startups. The fund, which was established in partnership with the Technology Innovation Agency, will give qualifying startups up to R500,000 to help them in the development of an MVP. To find out more about the fund, visit www.mlab.co.za. And lastly, the finalists of the Josie My Beginning competition are nearing the end of their social entrepreneurship program at UJ. The coursework, which is presented at the Center of Social Entrepreneurship and Social Economy, aims at helping the finalists in the following core business areas: finance, marketing, and business planning. The competition is nearing its final phases, and entrepreneurs can still win a share of the R50 million prize fund. That's the news for the week. Remember to keep in touch with us through our social media pages or email us your green news on info@greencitystartup.co.za. From the news team, goodbye.
Next week, you don't want to miss out on our program because we see how some of our contestants are progressing with their inventions. We also learn about one of our heritage sites and its significance, and we rub shoulders with another expert on the big interview. Just before I go, don't forget to connect with us on social media. You can find us on the Green City Startup Facebook page and on Twitter at @TheGC Startup. That's all from the Green City Startup team and me, Puna Silisho. See you next week. Cheerio!